So there I was. It's almost midnight. I'm riding scooters with Tom Loeffler. We're in Venice. We just smashed a couple pitchers of margarita, and I'm thinking back on the day. I had the opportunity to sit down with Tom and Ryan Blue Chip Martin as they told me they were getting ready to announce that Ryan Martin is going to participate in the World Boxing Super Series 140-pound tournament. This tournament is turning into something a little bit spectacular. The cruiserweight division was never really talked about as kind of like a glamour division, and that all changed following the first few rounds of the cruiserweight tournament. And now you have the boxing world waiting on the edge of their seat for this Usyk-Garcia finale. The 168-pound tournament, because of the boxing political spectrum, didn't quite get all the best talent in the 168 division. You had George Groves, you had Eubanks Jr., and then you had everybody else. The 140-pound tournament, with the exception of Jose Ramirez, has all the best 140-pound fighters. This tournament is going to be something great. I can't wait for it. I got to sit down with Ryan Blue Chip Martin, who's going to be participating in the tournament. Him and Tom Loeffler both told me exactly how things went down. Why don't you take a look and see how it went?
I was at 135 pounds and I was killing myself. Now I'm at 140. I'm gonna get it. From the first round to the last round, it's gonna be fireworks. My name is Ryan Martin, and this is Under the Hand Reps.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask about the World Boxing Super Series. What do you think going into this tournament? And Tom, you're putting your guy in there. This is it. This is like, this is where all the marbles or nothing.
Mm-hmm. It's a huge opportunity for Ryan. These are the type of opportunities that you try to create for a young fighter like Ryan. That was really, when you asked about the strategy was to get him the activity, get him the recognition, build up his brand. When Tim first brought him to me, and Steve Kim also spoke very highly of Ryan, and he had the nickname, or has the nickname, Blue Chip. So he's living up to his nickname, and really the ideal is to get him to that level. Now that to create an opportunity like being in the tournament. This tournament, these type of tournaments are huge. You see right now, July 21 looks like the final between Usyk and Gassiev. Murat actually trains in Big Bear, and so Ryan has gotten to know him really well, obviously with Triple G up there, and you see the type of opportunity that the tournament brings. But at the same time, you're not in easy fights. Those are all world-class fighters. Those are the top fighters in the division. And, Ryan's really going to have to put on some impressive performances to move forward in that tournament. But we have complete faith and confidence in him. And, it was hard to get him in the tournament, but now that he's in, now it's up to him to really excel in the tournament.
When I first heard about the tournament, I was still fighting at 135 pounds. And as soon as Abel told me about it, I wanted in on it. And at that time, I didn't know I was going to move up to 140, but I wanted that opportunity. And I'm very excited to be involved in the tournament, to be involved with such a big deal. And I thank Tom and Tim for getting me in. And I'm just ready for it. I'm ready for that moment. I'm ready to really show myself what I can do.
Right on. So Tom, is he the first guy you've developed like from the beginning, or from that early on?
Yeah, not from the beginning, but to bring him to that level. I was working with Kevin Kelly, who was right before. That was the first boxer I ever worked with. Was Kevin Kelly. He was a mandatory, but he was appointed similar to Triple G. He was a mandatory, I think, in 2 or 3 of the sanctioning bodies, and couldn't get a world title fight. And then we secured that fight within, I think it was about 6 or 8 months of working with him. Then Obakar got Oba was very well established. He was on USA Tuesday Night Fights.
Yeah.
Got him. He had the title opportunity against Felix Trinidad, Ike Corte, and then the biggest fight that he had was against Oscar De La Hoya. Very first fight at Mandalay Bay in 1999. I remember that. Mandalay Bay is one of my favorite arenas. Just real, intimate arena and a great atmosphere. But then Shane Mosley. Our deal with Shane was we guaranteed him. None of the champions wanted to fight him, and so we guaranteed him as part of our deal that if you sign with us, we'll get you a world title fight within 1 year, and that's what we did against Philip Holiday on HBO. So those are and then naturally the stories of the Klitschko brothers and Triple G, but. Ryan is the first fighter that I started working with at that stage of his career, where he wasn't knocking on the door of being a world champion or close to being a world title. You have to develop him, move him up in the ratings. So that's definitely a challenge that I've taken on, and I don't work with a lot of fighters, and that's why I'm always reluctant to sign new fighters, because I know. Just like with Triple G, Triple G takes up like 80% of my time, personal and business, it just takes up a lot of time. And so when I start to work with a fighter, I put that personal commitment into that fighter. So there's really not a lot of guys that I work with, except for guys that I really think I'll get that commitment back from, and Ryan has proven that. And again, now he's at the point, being a world-class fighter at the top of the division, where it's up to him how far he's going to go, and he sees all those world-class athletes up there in Big Bear, whether it's a Murat Gassiev or a Triple G or now Sergey Boychuk, who's 9-0 with 9 knockouts now. He's like on everyone's heels, wanting to be moving up in the ratings, and I think the door is wide open for Ryan as far as his potential. He's young, but now, he's really in the prime of his career. He's got the experience. He's fought on the big shows, in the big arenas. So now it's really up to him as far as his success and the challenge of being in this tournament.
You looking forward for it?
I'm very excited about it. So I'm just ready for the opportunity.
What do you think about the whole tournament format? Because it's not like an amateur tournament where you go
actually,
for 1 week and it's over.
The whole, I actually love it, because it's like you don't know what to expect. It's like where it's gonna take place or who you're fighting yet. So it's I'm just ready to get it started.
Okay. The great thing about the tournament, it is a world. It's called the World Boxing Super Series, and so fighting all over the world. Fight might be here in the U.S. Could be in the UK, could be in Russia, like we're seeing the finals now with Usyk and Gassiev. So it's getting great publicity, and again, it's a great opportunity, for those divisions. There's a lot of great talent at 140 pounds. Ryan's undefeated, but he's going to be going up against other world-class fighters, and. You really, when you can get the top guys in the division to fight each other, that's what makes it an exciting event.
Winning this tournament's huge. Look at what's happening for Gassiev and Usyk.
Yeah.
These guys are the biggest. They're some of the biggest names in boxing now. And just 2 years ago, nobody was even whispering about the cruiserweight division.
Right, that's the thing. I've been involved in the cruiserweight division for a long time with Ola Afolabi. Ola fought Marco Huck 4 times, and I know the struggles that there are for certain divisions where there's not a lot of spotlight, there's not a lot of profile, and the financial rewards aren't the same. And so with this tournament now, it allows 2 great athletes like both Usyk and Gassiev to shine, and to be on a world stage. And I think the world will be watching July 21. Cecilia Brækhus is also on that show. That'll be, I think, the first time you'll see, the winner of the cruiserweight fight will be an undisputed champion. All the belts will be on the line. Cecilia Brækhus has all the titles, so you'll have an undisputed female boxer on the show, undisputed male boxer on the show. So, those are the type of things, type of opportunities that are afforded to the participants in the tournament. And I think it'll be a great opportunity for Ryan and something that he's really going to do well at.
Right on. All right, we'll end right there with you, Tom, because I know you got somewhere to go in there.
Cool.
I'm going to get some shots and I'm going to turn out all the lights and get some real cool looking stuff.
That'd be great.
All right.
Okay, thanks, Albert.